Hey you guys, welcome back to Angela's Angel, and I just wanted to make a quick video while I was deep in thought, but I'm driving. But I wanted to talk to you guys real quick about how the narcissist people care more than you. Narcissist people care more than you. And I know that sounds weird because when they are abusing you, it feels like they don't care, right? But their definition of caring is not your definition of caring, first of all, because the headline, to this subject could be kind of weird. But from what I've noticed, right, from narcissistic people, especially from the more malignant ones that are a little bit more more conscious of their actions, and they can spot other narcissists like right away, is that the reason they can spot lower grade narcissists right away is because they were once like them. They were once like them, unconscious. Just like the empath is unconscious when all this bullshit is going on. You're not focused on the narcissist because you're in your own world. You're not focused on other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a giver, so you're gonna give, right? But for the most part, you're in your own world and you want to make everyone happy until you find someone who's a narcissist who sees these qualities in you, and they like these qualities in you, and they want to be liked, and they want to be able to feel and talk to people and connect to others and actually understand where other people are coming from, right? They want to be able to be like you when you're speaking to them, when you're sharing ideas, or you're sharing your past with them, your traumas. You're teaching them about themselves. So this is why they care about you. They care about you because when they see you, they see the good parts of them that they want to be, right? When they see narcissists who are just like them, they don't want to get played by these people. They can spot them out real quick. They don't trust them. They'll even tell the empath, when you run across people like them, they'll even tell the empath, don't give them shit. Don't give them nothing. They can spot other narcissists, so you'll feel like they're protecting you in a way. But what's crazy is that the narcissist is more intellectual than certain narcissists when they learn from empaths. But they don't completely change. They just get smarter at manipulating people to get their way, to get their own needs met, because they study people a lot. And with everyone that they run across, they usually run people off, meaning that people start hating them for the real them, right? The real them. So they got to keep putting a mask for you. They got to keep putting a mask for you, because a lot of times the narcissist's behavior is so childlike, because what they do, like when I've ran across like lower grade narcissists, what they do a lot of times is that they want you to like them. So they'll do things for you to like them subconsciously. They might not even interact with you. Maybe you're watching them from a distance, and even if you don't think they're paying attention to you. They're talking to other people. They might be talking to other people, but they're paying attention to you. They care what you think of them. They're paying attention to people that aren't even paying attention to them. Sometimes you're not even paying attention to them, and they think you're paying attention to them because they think they're so fucking great, which is crazy. So if they pick a target out, they're gonna force you to like them. So to them, they have to put an act. They care a lot. They care about how you view them. So they care about how you view them before you even know them. From a distance, from reputation. This is why when you try to talk to people about what the narcissist is doing, the narcissists, they get mad because they're like, you're gonna fuck up my reputation, even if it's people that they don't know. Because to them, it's like they can run across people later on. This is what they learn once they get smarter. They can run across people at jobs, at different places, and then they're reminded of the bullshit that they've done to others, right? So this is why primary supply is very important to them, because they care about what others think about them. So they need someone that is going to take the abuse. They need someone that knows the real them, because if someone doesn't know the real them, they're going to drive themselves insane. Because what happens when they're alone is that they start talking too much. They start talking too much to people. They start revealing their cards. They look desperate. But when they have a supply, it makes them feel good, because they can put on a mask with those other people and make themselves seem normal. So this is why I say they care more than you. Not meaning like they love more than you. They're more loyal than you and have more good qualities than you, or anything like that. Or say that, I'm not saying they care about you because they're caring people, but they care what you think of them as well. Even though you're taking the abuse, you know them better than other people do, but those are the same reasons they hate you, because they care. When they start acting childish and throwing tantrums, or they're caught cheating, or they're caught lying, or you're trying to tell them to just tell you the truth, you get to the point where you just want the truth, and they just keep lying, or they keep gaslighting you, or they keep acting nice and then they switch up again. They care what you think. They care, hey, if I tell you the truth about me lying, I care what you think, because then you're going to think to yourself and you're going to say, every time there must be other times you've lied to me, and now you're going to pay attention to what I'm doing and saying, and you're going to realize that I lie a lot. So I do care if you know that I lie a lot, because then you're never going to trust me. Because I've seen narcissists, when they're lonely, when they don't have supply, they talk a lot. They say things that just give you red flags. But when they have supply, that's when they know how to contain their anger. That's when they know how to behave. They got the primary supply is golden to them, because the primary supply knows them better than they know themselves, and they know exactly at what point the narcissist gives off red flags, and they're teaching the narcissist about all the red flags that they're giving. So they do care about the primary source, only because you're giving them fuel. They're triangulating people. They're getting away with bad behavior. They're putting all that shit on you. And then they care about you because you're helping them be a better person, because you're containing their anger and you're guiding them through conversations that they have with people that they're giving up red flags. And this is why a lot of times what I used to notice about him is that when he used to come home from work, he would always tell me, like, I don't think this person likes me. He always cared a lot about how people felt about him after having conversations, and he would repeat conversations with himself. So this is why I say, they care about what people think. They actually care more than you. And when you stop caring about these people, you realize that, you realize that certain things you don't really care about. And the only reason you cared so much about this person is because you were loyal to them. So, they act like they care about people, but they are not loyal to people. They just need people. They need them. Its supply is just need. It's selfishness. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't get anything out of it. And when they do, the narcissist cares enough to say, hey, I compensated for using you. Hey, I put you in a better situation. So you have certain people that will bring you down, and then you have those people that will bring you up and show you they care about you. But, it all comes with the prize. You know, it all comes with a price, because these are people that they're thinking ahead of you. You know, they're thinking, maybe one day you'll talk bad about me. Maybe one day, you know, I gave you opportunities, and maybe one day you turn on me. So to them, it's always about having leverage. And then you think to yourself, why would someone destroy my business, or my scholarship, or my license got revoked? Why would someone try to ruin my life or steal from me? It's all about having leverage. They don't care, but they care enough to ruin your life in order for them to come back if they're ever in a desperate situation where they need you. And that's when they'll come back around acting like they've always cared about you. And it's only because they care about the supply. It's always about the supply. It's, if I put you in a situation where I could predict where your life is going to be after I do something to you, then I can predict that I can come back at a certain time in your life and you're going to accept me, because I'm predicting that this is going to happen according to the damage that I did and how long it's going to take to rebuild or to get your mind right from these situations. So everything, the form of abuse, to them, it's like, it's not abuse. It's to them, that's them caring. It's like, I care because you're a good supplier. You're a good resource. You're someone I can get resources from. So yeah, I do care. You know, I will keep you around as a friend if I have to. I will do these things. So everything is always, it always boils down to, it's all about them. They care about themselves. They care about their own need. They care about getting to the next level. This is why they use information from one source to the next, and they usually get with people that they feel like they can, you know, outsmart. Because just as they're outsmarting someone, at the same time they're gaining knowledge, meaning that if they go from supply to supply, or from a younger person to a younger person, and they stay at a certain age group, it seems like they're in love in the moment, but they're in love with the information that they're gathering from that person. They're in love with studying that person, and then it's, you know, and then something usually takes over them if you're dealing with someone who can't control themselves, a narcissist that can't control themselves. Then that's when usually, you know, they'll destroy that person so they can. To them, it's like, if they destroy that person, they're destroying the old version of themselves in order to get to the next person. To them, it's like, destroying you is destroying the character that they made for you. You get it? You know? So that's why it will seem when they're with a new person, like, you know, they care a lot about this person, is because they get bored easily. They like studying people. That person might not look the best, but there's something about them that they care about. There's knowledge that that person has, things that are happening in society. You know, the world is constantly changing. So to them, it's like they're getting their news. That person becomes like the news channel to them. They're getting all the latest news while you're playing reruns. And sometimes it's fun to go and watch the reruns, because it reminds you it was a classic. They'll come back around, want to be friends, or just have a conversation with you. It's all about, oh, it's a classic movie, but here are the latest trends. And that's how they gain information. That's why it seems like they care about that person, until that if that person's not strong enough, they can end up in the same situation where they stop growing, because the narcissist will get arrogant at some point and they will act like they outgrew you. Meanwhile, you were like a teacher to this person. You know, you were like a teacher, mother, everything. It was like a child that just, their parent didn't give them attention. Their parent didn't teach them certain things. So this is why they'll come off as a new person over and over again, because they're getting, every time they do something and they know you should not be talking to them anymore. This is why every time they come back as a new person, because to them it's like they're starting over and you're living in the past. They don't want to talk about the past things that they did. They're like, I'm starting over, because their mind is always running wild. They're always replaying conversations in their head. They're replaying when people don't like them, or when people aren't responding the way they want them to respond, or they're not getting the type of attention that they want to get. They're always replaying things in their head. So dealing with these type of people, it's dangerous, and it's dangerous even to fight or argue with them, because they'll be replaying altercations until they finally decide, I'm gonna go do something, you know. So this is just, you know, something that I wanted to talk about, because it was something I was thinking about, how I'm like, it's these motherfuckers who care more about what you think or how you feel about them than you do, because it's times where you'll discard these people or don't want to be around them, and they'll just keep coming to your job, coming to your house, coming to your school. Like, who the fuck does that? When you really think about it, when you leave these people alone and you don't got the energy to be playing games, you'll think to yourself, like, who the fuck has the energy to do stuff like that? You know, that's because they're constantly bored and their mind is constantly going crazy, going in circles, or constantly in thought. They don't have any peace. It's very hard for them to meditate and have peace. And when they are meditating, they're fucking putting on a fucking show. Like, I remember times doing yoga and things like that, and the narcissist would come in, and honestly, now that I think about it, I feel like that shit was a show too. And I've seen it too, where even children do this. Like, you know, even children do this. Like, if they know that, if a child knows that one of their siblings gets in trouble more, then they're gonna do something to make themselves look like they're a good kid. Meaning, like, the whole classroom could be throwing shit around, right? They'll cross their hands and stuff as soon as the teacher comes, because they know the teacher is gonna look around to see who's out of their seat, who's in their seat. So they might be with the bullshit too, but they didn't leave their seat because they were thinking ahead. If the teacher walks in, I'm gonna be on the seat already, and I'll just cross my hands. So they premeditate everything in that manner. Like, they're always constantly thinking. That's why they're usually a couple steps ahead of you, because they care about how you view them, you know. Or their sibling is always getting in trouble, they're like, oh, I'm gonna grab a book and I'm gonna pretend to read. So when people, especially strangers or family members that I don't really see like that, when they see me, they're gonna say, my nephew, he's always reading books. My son, he's studious. So they do this shit. The behavior starts even young, and a lot of times even parents don't catch it, and it's kind of crazy and twisted. But this is why they're always steps ahead, because they care about how people think. So when you realize this, you'll realize that when you're doing things like reading a book, the narcissist will come around you and they'll be like, oh, you're reading a book? What kind of book are you reading? I don't really, you're not really reading that book. What's the book about? And they just want to know what the book is about so they can tell someone else that they read the book, and then they're going to tell that other person what the book is about, because they care about what other people think, and they want to make sure that other person knows that they read and they're not always watching TV. And then they won't give you any credit, and then they'll tell you even that they don't really read books like that. But when you met them, they had all these books lined up, and you thought that you were picking up the books, like, oh, you got a lot of spiritual books, and and they were just for fucking display. They care about people and what they think to that fucking extreme. You probably don't as an empath, but they do. And that's when I realized this is why every time you do something or you have a hobby, they think you're faking it. They think your whole life is fake. You can have a degree, and because they think they can outsmart you, they feel like, I can have that degree because I'm always thinking ahead. I'm smarter than you. I'm just not willing to do the work because I'm way more brilliant than you. I'm a genius because my mind is always going crazy. So I'm really a genius. And sometimes some of these people might be artists. Some of these people might be business people because they're constantly always thinking of the next move, and they become even workaholics. But it's also dangerous because they'll get into bad business deals because they can't use their intuition, or they assume things about people because they're always thinking ahead. And sometimes people are playing the same game that they're playing. They're wearing a mask, and this is how sometimes they can get very arrogant. And then when things like that happen, they care about what people think, and now they're out for revenge. Now they're the victim. Now they're doing everything to get back at you, whether it's revenge or whether making you look bad. Sometimes because they can't revenge you because they know they can get in trouble. They might get physical with you if they know they might not get in trouble. But a lot of times if they know that they can get in trouble, this is why revenge comes in a form of ruining your life, or like, you know, revenge can be, you know, the way people view you, because they care a lot, you know. I feel like also when the narcissist kind of turned on me, it was mainly because I exposed the truth about something that he did that was basically true, and he had already made up a story to people, and I didn't know. So when I said the truth, he was offended because it was like, why did you tell people this? Because he had already made up a story. So it made him look like a liar, and because people know that he's a liar, but they don't know that he lies literally all the time. They just think it's sometimes. It made him look stupid, you know. So this is why I say, like, if you're dealing with someone that cares too much, and this is why if you disagree with these people, or, you know, they want to have fun and you don't want to have fun, they're like, they care a lot. Like, they feel like you should be on the same level as them at all times. And, you know, those are reasons for them to attack you. The way they think, it's weird. It's like, I care so much about myself. I care so much about how people think. I care so much about when people disagree with me. I care so much when people have different viewpoints in life. I care so much when people catch me lying. I care so much when people don't want to be my friend. I care so much when someone rejects me. I care so much when someone cuts me off, or someone thinks they're better than me. You know, I care so much. It's crazy the amount of they care so fucking much, but it's all related to them, you know, and that's what makes it scary. So what I've came to realize, because I really don't care anymore about none of these people, none of these narcissists. A lot of people act like they're not narcissists, and they are, because I run across mostly narcissistic people, or people that just don't have any boundaries. Most people don't have boundaries. That's what I realized, and that's why it's basically the narcissist world, because to them, you know, they get to a point that they're like, I care a lot and you don't care about yourself enough. Even though they don't care about themselves enough. That's why if they did, they wouldn't care so much about what the fuck is going on in your life. And this is why, you know, they're always involving themselves in people's lives, or coming around pretending like they care about you, or they care about what you're thinking or what you're going through. But once they know your business, they don't want to hear that shit no more. To be real with you, it's going one ear out the other, and they care about themselves. Now they're like, okay, we already talked about you, let's talk about me, you know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this message. I'm gonna cut it right here. If you guys enjoyed this, please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you guys are interested in booking a session with me, my booking information will be on the description. Just give me about 24 hours to respond to you, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.